are gonna be getting an acceleration here with the QX80. Love the sound. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2021 Infiniti QX80. First and foremost though, a huge shout out and thank you to my friend Mike Cavros here at Tim Daly Infiniti in Utah for giving me some time with this QX80. Check out their inventory in the link below, and if you have any questions, just give them a call and ask for Mike. Let's get into the video. So under the hood we have a naturally aspirated 5.6 liter V8 that goes through a 7-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 13 around town and then 19 on the highway, with power outputs being 400 horsepower and then 413 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end of the QX80. So first off, I really like the design they've done here with the hood. So notice you have the body line right there, and then on either side definitely creates some nice sharp angles, and notice how it goes into the chrome front grille. Coming down below, we've got these full LED lights with the projector bulbs, and then we have the fog lights just down below. Parking sensors all along the front, and then look at the really nice chrome accenting we have on the front as well. We have a camera right there below the Infiniti logo, and other than that, there's the front end. Just look how imposing that is. I love it. Coming around the side here, we've got two 75mm tires wrapped around 22-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. Really love the design here on the wheels. Now, if you look at them up close, you're like, not that cool. But when you take a step back and you look at how the wheels go with the rest of the QX80, it looks fantastic. And I'll show you guys in a second. And then there's a quick look at the front suspension, and then also we've got this nice piece of chrome accenting. Notice we've got the chrome accenting on the mirrors, the door handles as well, and then there at the top, and then notice how it kind of goes around the top and around the windows. I think that's a nice accent piece. But now you can see what I'm talking about with the wheels, just perfect proportion wise, and it looks really good with the contrast between the black and that chrome on the wheels. Now before we pop into the rear, let's go over the towing and payload. So the towing capacity is 8,500 pounds and the payload is 1,344 pounds. Now popping here into the back, got the 12 volt right there. We have these controls to fold down the seats, and then also we have this covering right here to kind of protect everything. Got these rubber floor mats that say QX80, and I love the plaque here on the bottom portion, and then also you have more of that accenting right there as well. But that's pretty much everything for the back, so yeah. Now let's finish things up here in the rear. So first off, I'm a huge fan of Infiniti taillights in general, and the QX80 is no different. We've got our 4-wheel drive QX80 badge and then the Infiniti logo right there. Tons of chrome accenting all over. Parking sensors at the bottom. You've got that covering over the receiver hitch, and that's all. Now here's the door panel in the rear. Notice we've got this beautiful leather here. We've got the quilted design just down below, really soft to the touch, but all over the top portion of the door panel. We've got a speaker for the Bose sound system. I love how that speaker looks. And here is the seat in the back. So again, really nice leather here. You've got the quilted design along the center with the perforations. Infiniti logo right there. We've got these nice side steps, so getting in is actually really easy. Notice that, boom, we're in. If you guys are wondering, about 6 foot, you can see legroom. Headroom as well, all really solid. Notice that we do have these climate controls here for the rear passengers. We've got the heated seats here in the back, and got some little TVs as well. I mean, we are living the life of luxury back here. And even on the back of the seat, we've got the quilted design, which is cool. And got some cup holders. Got the center console here, which actually is really deep. That is very surprising. You usually don't see a center console that big in the front of a car, let alone the second row. But let's head to the third. First off, notice these controls we have for the seats here in the third row, so it makes getting out a whole lot easier. And then legroom is actually pretty good back here. Usually third rows, I just don't fit in whatsoever. And you can see my legs actually fit. And then headroom, yeah, really solid back here. It's actually pretty comfortable. I would say that you'd be perfectly fine with fitting adults back here. And the thing that I love is the headrest. So like everything's normal, and then just whoop, and then the headrest pops up. I don't know. And it kind of looks like one of the droids from Star Wars. Can you guys see it? Like the face of the headrest? I don't know. Maybe I just have too much of an imagination. Let's head to the front. Now here's the door panel in the front. So again, we've got all that beautiful leather with a quilted design. We've got our window controls just down below with the button to fold in the mirrors. This does come with memory seats. And then again, look at that beautiful speaker with the Bose sound system. Infiniti plaque. And here are the front seats. So again, really nice leather, quilted design with all the perforations, power adjustments there on the side. And then we've got the pedals just down below right here. And you actually have these buttons here at the front to fold down the seats. And then notice that you've got that for the power door to turn it on or off. You can just kind of have it function more like a hydraulic lift gate. And then you've got that for the rear. Heated steering wheel, this is for the safety tech. The steering wheel is automatically adjustable. And there's one more look before we pop in. Now here's the steering wheel in the QX80, and I really like the design on the steering wheel. So first off, got leather and stitching here on the airbag cover, and then we have our controls here for the cruise control, for example, and then all of the safety tech. And then we've got this for the volume and voice command and phone controls. And then I like this part. So you've got the leather right here, but then you have the wood trim, and then you have more leather there on the back. It's kind of hard to see. Hopefully you can kind of come around here. I don't know, it just feels cool, and it looks good from a design perspective, if you ask me. Got the turn signal light stock, windshield wiper stock, and that's all. Now here's the center gauge cluster for the QX80. Notice we got the RPMs and the speed right there on either side in analog format. And then we do have the screen where you can scroll through a few different menus here with the QX80. Nothing too crazy, and well, that's all for that. Now here's the center infotainment system. First off, we're going to pop it into reverse. You can see the backup camera, and it does have the bird's eye view. And then we've got those trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. But wait folks, that is not all, because we've got more camera action. So we've got this view out the front as well, and then we've got the side view. So from a camera perspective, we're pretty much covered. Now, this is pretty cool. Normally when you have two screens, they're not both touchscreens, but we actually have two different touchscreens. So the top one is actually touchscreen, and this is kind of for like your navigation, and then you guys saw for the camera as well. But we've got another infotainment system screen thing, whatever you want to call it. It's got climate controls on either side, controls for the heated and cooled seats, and then analog controls here at the bottom. But this is kind of like your more official infotainment system is the best way to put it. So this is where you can control the climate, which yes, you can do it with those analog controls or the screen. And then you can control the rear climate here from this front screen. And response time is actually really good, even though it's got the plastic there on the front. Definitely does a good job with that, but we got the two screens, people. Got a 12 volt right here. We've got a couple USBs, and then we have this little storage space right here that you could use for your phone, or you can put it in this cup holder area. And then we've got the shifter there for that 7-speed automatic. You do have the plus and minus for the gears. And then we have this that actually controls that top screen. So if you don't want to use the touchscreen format, well, does that make you guys dizzy? Because yeah, you can use the dial if you don't want to do that. And then you've got this for the map, voice, and then you've got that for the camera to turn that on or off. And then we've got this for like our drive line select. So you've got your 4-wheel high and then your 4-wheel low. You've got your tow mode, your snow mode, and then your stability control. And I definitely like the look and feel of the dial. And then we've got another massive center console. I mean, just look at like the materials on it. And yes, it's very large. You can see their storage space is great, and there's also a power outlet, which is cool. Now, closing that, coming over to the glove box, pretty large as well. And then notice we've got nice materials all over the dash up here. We've got stitching there at the very top, so definitely nice and upscale. And I like how the wood trim right there connects between the door and the dash. I think that's a nice piece of design touch. And then here at the very top, we've got our sunroof, control for the sunroof, and then we've got our sunglass holder, and that's all. Now here's our window sticker for the QX80, and feel free to freeze the frame if you want to read all of the equipment this comes with. Notice that this is the standard equipment section. And then you can see the base MSRP. There are a few options, not a whole lot that you can add, but you can see $87,490. And wait for it, wait a little bit longer. Let's take her out and see how she drives. Let's talk about visibility here in the QX80 before we set off. There's your visibility over the hood, both of the mirrors, and then throughout the rest of the rear. And I love the feel of that shifter. Let's set off. We are setting off here in the 2021 Infiniti QX80. And let's talk about the road noise and the ride quality. So from a ride quality perspective, it is amazing. This thing is like the SUV version of a yacht. That's the best way for me to describe it. It's actually just really smooth, doesn't get upset when you go over everything, or anything rather, but it just does a really good job of just soaking everything up. And it just, I don't know, it just has this nice luxury feel. I really like it from a ride quality perspective. And then from a road noise perspective, super well insulated cabin. It's actually a pretty windy day today, and guess what? We're not even noticing. Turning radius, I mean, it is a bigger SUV, it's kind of expected, but the steering's very light, so it's not cumbersome to go around corners or anything like that, but it does feel like a larger sized SUV. It doesn't really necessarily hide its weight, but I like the fact that it doesn't hide its weight, because typically for an SUV of this size to hide its weight, that means that the suspension is going to be really stiff and firm, and I don't know, if I was owning one of these, I don't think that I'd want that. I want something softer like what this is. Now let's go over the train tracks here and see how that feels. Yeah, man, this just soaks it up so well. It really does have a nice luxury feel to it. So Infiniti nailed it with the suspension, like this really, yeah, even over that part, there's a little jump on the back end where it kind of pops up a little bit, like it's still just perfect. Yeah, they did a really good job with the suspension on this. And then on top of that, the seats are really comfortable. The seats are really soft and they're very wide. And I just feel like I'm sitting on giant pillows, basically, which, I don't know, I like it. I think this would be a great road trip vehicle because of that. Just like, you'd never be uncomfortable with these seats. Even if you were in this for like literally hours and hundreds of miles, perfectly fine. But yeah, it's kind of my initial thoughts. We're going to be getting an acceleration here with the QX80. Love the sound. Just love that 5.6 liter V8. Now, I was a little bit worried initially because this doesn't have the new 9-speed automatic, but it's not a bad transmission at all. Like, it's still very quick to shift. It's very smooth, like very, very smooth. Like, notice this, I'll kind of slow down a little bit and then I'll just punch it. Super smooth, actually. And yeah, that V8 sounds just fantastic. It's like engine porn, I will say that. But yeah, just really good from an acceleration standpoint. And so I guess let's get into summing things up here with this QX80. So exterior wise, I think it looks great. Interior wise, tons of nice materials, so really good job on that. And then from a driving experience perspective, it feels like a big, nice luxury SUV, which I understand that a lot of people are going for like the sportier stuff nowadays, but it's not necessarily the way to go, especially if you have kids and everything. And if you're gonna go on long road trips, you don't want something that's super firm. You want something that's like this, that still gets up and moves at a really decent pace, but has comfortable seats and has, you know, a really nice, comfortable ride quality to it as well. And so as just a luxury SUV, I think it's great. And then on top of that, from a price point perspective, it's very, very competitive, because if you think about something that's similarly equipped from Cadillac or from Lincoln, you're looking at 6 figures, and this is in the $80,000 range, so it actually saves you quite a bit of money over the competition as well. I can't talk, so I'm gonna finish the video. I'll see you guys. Now let's get some things up for our video on this 2021 Infiniti QX80. And again, a huge shout out and thank you to Tim Dowling Infiniti here for giving me some time with this QX80. Again, if you have any questions, reach out to Mike. He'll be more than happy to help you. I'll see all of you guys in the next video.